Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Wednesday the 13th of April 2022. Now today's video is going to be a bit special because there isn't really any major news in regards to Millwall today. Obviously tomorrow we're going to have the preview of the Friday game, the Preston game and all of that, but today not really a lot going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Player of the Year, Player of the Season, who and why. And we're going to be doing it on this website, whoscored.com, looking at it through the lens of statistics, but we're going to talk about other stuff as well as you go along. So this is the Millwall page on whoscored.com, and these are the Millwall players rated by the ranking that they got in the games so far this season. And so you can see here, Sean Hudson is the highest rated player, 7.09, just ahead of Jed Wallace 7.9 on 7.05, and they are the only three so far with 7 or above. And you can see a lot in the mid sixes, few in the low sixes. Yes. So, just having a higher rating. So, Sean Hudson is player of the season, yeah? Well, no, not really, because if you look over here, he's only played 25 games now. That's a lot of games. There's 46 in the season, so he's missed half the games. If you miss half the games, I'm sorry, you can't be player of the season. You just can't. You've probably got to be involved in at least probably a 3/4 of the games. Random arbitrary number I'm saying there. So Sean Hudson, however good he is, however great he is, he's got the highest rating. I'm sorry, in my view, he can't be considered for player of the season because he hasn't played enough games. So let's move this around and see, well, if that's one of the conditions, who's played the most games. Well, of course, Barbie Kelsey, ever present. He's played in every game. And then we've got Billy Mitchell. This website kind of a bit weird. It adds up, takes the starting number of appearances and adds them together, so you get a weird number. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually click on minutes because it just adds up the game. I don't think it does extra time. It just, after you get to 90 minutes plus, it just says 90. So, of course, we are back. Barbie Kelsey, 3,690 minutes, 41 appearances. Murray Wallis next, the most of any outfield player, 3,307 minutes. Jay Cooper's next after that, 3,229 minutes. He's one behind appearances for Murray Wallis, and that was, but he did have that as a substitute appearance. So, and this is just league. This is the league. We could click on the League Cup, and there you go. Scott Malone, Murray Wallis. This is in the League Cup. We had 3 League Cup games, and surprisingly, the only one who played in all three games was Jay Cooper, Tom Bradshaw, George Long. So there you go. But let's go back to the league. Let's go back to sorting this by minutes. So, in terms of what I said earlier about playing in a third of the game, for 3/4 of the games, you really got to be considering yeah, I think even players, like, I know a lot of people are voting for Danny Mcnamara, but he started 24 games, come on as a sub on 4. He's only played 2,512 minutes of 3,690 minutes. You probably got to think that's probably the cut off there. So anyone below Danny McNamara, sorry, we can't consider you for player of the season. So we have 9 contenders then. McNamara, Phoebe, George Saville, Billy Mitchell, Jed Wallace, Scott Malone, Jake Cooper, Murray Wallis, and Barbie Kelsey. Now, of course, some of these are pretty obviously stand out. Wallis, Barbie Kelsey, Jake Cooper, Jed Wallace. Why Jed Wallace? Well, let's have a look at another factor, and that's goals. So Mitrovic scored 10 goals. He's in double figures, which we need a striker who can do that. We need he probably could have got 15 goals, as Gary Rout said, if he didn't get the injuries. And yeah, I don't know why quite a few people are getting on his back, but he's been pretty decent. I mean, I don't know what people thought they were getting, but so in terms of goals, obviously we've got Mitrovic, who meets the criteria for minutes played, and he's got a lot of goals, so he's a contender. But Tom Bradshaw, he scored 8 goals. He's only played 1,092 minutes, but then you think, well, that's good. He's scored 8 goals in 1,092 minutes, and that's probably another thing where you compare him with a Phobie. Maybe that's why Bradshaw's got nearly as many goals as a Phobie in under half the time on the pitch, which is kind of remarkable. But again, I can't really vote for Bradshaw player of the season because he hasn't played enough times this season, even though he's got 8 goals in the little time that he's been on the pitch, which is quite remarkable for him. So hopefully he can get strong, fit over the summer, and when we come back next year he can hit the ground running, because if he can do this next season, oh boy, that will be fantastic. So then we look at Jed Wallace, third top scorer for Millwall this season, 6 goals. He meets the criteria for appearances, and he has something else going on as well. But before we get to that, Jay Cooper there, which is, that's kind of pitiful. That's pitiful, isn't it? To be honest, yeah. Our 4th top scorer is a centre back with 4 goals. Yes, that is kind of pitiful. We know we struggle to score goals, but that is not the best. But Jed Wallace has the assists. 10 assists for Jed Wallace. Double the number of the next guy, Scott Malone. And Ryan Leonard there with 3 assists in a very small amount of time on the pitch, 893. There you go. So Jed Wallace seems to be in contention for it there. Maybe Scott Malone as well. Let's move on now to man of the matches. So this isn't the man of the match at the ground, it's man of the match basically. The rating, this rating here, game by game, you got the highest rating in that game. So Jake Cooper's got the highest rating in 5 games. Murray Wallis in 4, Phobie in 3, Jed Wallace in 3, Sean Hudson in 2, which is kind of weird because he's playing very, very well, and he's got the highest rating from Millwall, so that suggests that he's been consistently with a high rating match by match, rather than just doing very well here and there. He's only been the highest rated player twice this season. So yeah, but we have 12 different man of the matches here. But then, so that leads credence to Jake Cooper and Murray Wallis. So here's the thing: we're looking at these numbers. Well, what do they mean? Well, what does 1 mean? If I look at 1, the number 1, what does that mean? Well, on its own, it doesn't mean anything. 1 what? 1 of what? Well, you got to compare it to other things. So 1 is 1 more than 0, and it's 1 less than 2. So we need to compare the numbers. So how are we going to compare the numbers? Well, this website has a league rating, similar to the one that I was just showing you for Millwall Football Club. They have the rating for the whole league, and I can't. This is kind of weird. Alexander Mitrovic, the wonder striker for Fulham, who scored 38 goals in 38 games, got 12 man of the matches. He only has a rating of 7.76, which is like, what more you got to do? How do you get into the 8 and 9? I don't know. You can see he's 0.4 higher than the next guy, which is his teammate Harry Wilson. And then it drops off again, and then it's slow. The drop off decreases as we go down. So clearly the top two at Fulham, really good. Max Lowe at Nottingham Forest, pretty good. And then you have these other players dropping down. John Swift there from Reading. So what are we going to be looking at? We're going to be looking at rating. We've already seen that Hudson was the highest rating for Millwall with 7.09, so it looks like it might be on the next page when we click it. No, yes, Sean Hudson is the 14th best player in the league according to this rating system. 14th. Nice. Next we have Murray Wallis with 20. Oh no, we have Jake Cooper, 23rd. Murray Wallis, 27th. And it kind of epitomizes our season this season. That our top 3 rated players, who are highly rated amongst the league as well, are the 3 centre backs: Hudson, Cooper, and Wallis. Make the top 30 of the league, and three defenders there. So moving on, we don't have any Millwall players here. None there. So this is top 50. We're going to take it down to the top 100. So we'll see. We have Danny Ballard there, number 61. But again, I don't think he's played enough games to be in with the shout. Plus he's a loan player. Can you give the loan player player of the season? I'm not too sure. I don't think you can really. Don't think you can. So moving on, no more Millwall players here. None here. Last go. And Jed Wallace, number 91. 91st best player in Championship is Murray Wallis on 6.87. So let's see if there are any just outside. No. So there you have. We have, what was that, 5 players in the top. The 3 centre backs, Ballard and Jed Wallace, in the top 100 Championship players. So in that narrows it down. It's got to be one of them. I've already said it's not going to be Ballard because he hasn't played enough. And he's a lone player, so you can't really give it to him. So then we're really looking at then Hutchinson, Murray Wallis, Jake Cooper, and Jed Wallace. 4 of them are one of them 4 has to be player of the season. It's got to be one of them. So what are we going to do now? We are going to look at minutes played just to compare. So here we go. Barbie Kelsey last season, I believe he played in every single minute of the league, and he's doing it again this season. But compared to this season to last season there were 3 goalkeepers who did it. He is the only goalkeeper who has played every single minute of every game, which is weird. You've got Curtis Davis there, the 37-year-old Curtis Davis, who's doing it as well. You've got defender from Hull, and then John Hegan from Sheffield United, King Lewis Potter from Hull again. So the 2 Hull players playing every minute of every game so far. Interesting stuff there. So only 5 players in the league have played every minute of every game so far, and Barbie Kelsey is one of them. Interesting stuff. Moving on, what we're going to look at, we're going to look at goals. So we've obviously seen Benicfobia's top goal scorer, and you compare him to the top 10 plays. So he's only 4 goals off of top 10, but when you go above that, you look 18 there. The geezer who scored against us from Swansea, he's got 18. Andres Wyman from Bristol City. I mean, they're not very good, but he scored 19 goals, and well, we could really do with someone who can score 19 goals. We're really good. So let's see where Afobe is on this list. 19th, so he makes the top 20. He's the 19th, which is decent. Interesting stuff. So we're gonna look at assists. We've already seen Jed Wallace's Millwall's best one, and he is 5th in the league overall. 5th in the league, not that far behind Harry Wilson of Fulham, only 4. Sorba Thomas of Huddersfield, Chris Willock QPR. So Jed, if he sets up a couple of goals this weekend, could put himself top 3 in the league, which would be interesting. Would very much be interesting. So man of the matches, we've obviously seen what was it, Jade Cooper. So Jade Cooper here, number 10, but it's really joint 6. There's obviously, it's a low number, so there's going to be a lot of players on the same number. There is what, number 13 to number 6, did we say? All on 5. So there you go. Jay Cooper's up there. Now we are going to look at, what are we going to look at? We are going to look at aerials 1. So across the league, wow. Matt Smith, number 3, 6.2 per game, which is insane. He's only played 699 minutes. He's no longer in the league. He's in League 2. I think he's the highest rated player in League 2. I think I looked at it earlier. He's number 1. Like I just showed you. Mitrovic is number 1 in the Championship. Matt Smith is number 1 in League 2 because he wins so many headers. It bumps his score up. Probably that, but he scored a few goals as well and a few assists as well. But we do have an actual active Millwall player. Jake Cooper is 6th in the league for aerials 1. He averages 5.4 per game. From last click, Mario Wallis 32, 3.8 on the aerials 1 per game. Interesting stuff. So let's have shots per game. SPG, shots per game. Is there a Millwall player there? Now, who do you think it would be? You probably would be Benica Fabi, because he's the main striker. He scored the most goals. Would it be him? He's not in the top 10 in the league. He's not in the top 20 in the league. Okay. Let's click on it and see. He is number 27 in the league for shots per game. He has 1.9. 1.9 shots per game. Okay. Let's move on now to... We're going to start speeding through this because I'm going incredibly quickly. So tackles per game, players in the top 10. George Saville. Not any of the 3 defenders that are in the top 100 Championship players this season. No, it's George Saville, 2.3 per game. Interesting stuff. Any other? None there. Oh, Murray Wallis is there. 2.1. 26 in the league. Yeah, and no more in the top 40. In terms of interceptions, well, looky here, Sean Hudson, number 1 in the league for interceptions, 2.6 per game. Clearly above Michael Hellick of 2.5. 2.6 per game. Interesting stuff. So any more in the top 20? No Millwall players there. Top 30, Danny Ballard, 24th with 1.7. And no more Millwall players in the top 40. So there you have it, Hudson and Ballard and Murray Wallis. We will be clearances are very important. So where are we on clearances? No Millwall players in the top 10 in the league. None in the top 20. 25th, Sean Hudson, 4.2. Not far behind him, Jake, with 4.1. And that is it, the top 50. We're going to ignore all the rest of these. We're going to move on to offensive stuff and see where we go. So we already looked at goals, we already looked at assists, we already looked at shots per game. Shall we look at key passes? I don't really know what a key pass is, but Mr. Jed Wallace is number 2 in the league, 2.5 key passes per game. What is a key pass? How is it not assist? I think maybe it's a pre-assist. So an assist is the last pass to a player who scores a goal. Maybe a key pass is a pass that sets up the assist that sets up the goal. Kind of like that nursery rhyme about the woman who swallowed a fly. You got to go back through the animals, and you'll find Jed Wallace there with a pass at the end of it. So any more for any more? Would there be any more? Who would that be? No Millwall players. Oh, there is Scott Malone, 1.5, 27th, and again. Yes, so fouled. Who gets the most foul? Who gets fouled the most for Millwall? Who do you think it is? I'm guessing it's probably gonna be Danny Mcnamara, because he's a bit little and he can draw a foul. He's very clever at drawing fouls. Quite in the way that Fred Onyedinma was. You use your slightness as a tool and not an obstacle. And so none in the top 20. No real players in the top 30. And in the top 40. Okay. Where are we going? None there. Danny Ballard. 1.3. Okay, interesting. Then Danny McNamara. Oh, Danny McNamara as well, 1.3. So I was right. Danny Ballard getting fouled a lot, is he? That's not good. Yeah, I think was it one of the goal? Was it the goal Barnsley or the goal at Luton? He got fouled and didn't get given. Bit of a piss take, to be honest. Then George Chavel's there, number 68 in the league. Interesting stuff. So offsides per game. Who is the most offside, and is it a lot in the league for Millwall? None in the top 10, which is good to see, because we don't really get offside, do we? We don't play up on the last defender, on the shoulder of the last defender. We play quite deep and then run it forward, or just pump it long. So is Benica Fabi, number 12 in the league, 0.7 offsides per game. Okay. Shall we look at passing? We've seen the assists, obviously. Jed Wallace is up there. He's up there with he's 5th in the league in assists, 2nd in the league in key passes. Average passes that's we don't really pass that much, so there's no. Ow. Oh, that's per game, 100 per game, not 100%. Am I right? Yeah, I think that's right. See, that's that defender at Swansea where they're just these two defenders, they just pass it around to each other. See, I feel we're not going to have any player in the top 10 up there. Pass success percentage. So, is any Millwall player? If there is, it will probably be Billy Mitchell. His pass success percentage has been quite decent in the games, and there's no Millwall players so far. We're to the top 50 now. No decent passer. A lot of the league, obviously, better passers than us. Down to 70, and there you have it, 76. Billy Mitchell, 80.8 pass accuracy. But yeah, it's not really going forward, is it? He just kind of feeds Jed Wallace, and Jed Wallace does the rest. or when Jed Wallace leaves, you got to figure something else out, because that's not going to work. So there you have it. We've seen the three centre backs are the best players in the league. Again, so Sean Hutchin's numbers are very good when you compare them with the league. But he hasn't played enough. He really hasn't played enough. So, as we've already seen, Ballard's numbers are quite decent, but he's a lone player. Can't give the player of the season to a lone player. So a lot of people say Murray was pretty decent, not the best. I mean, Sean Hudson numbers are probably best, but again, he hasn't played enough minutes. So you'll be looking at Murray Wallis. Not only that, but in terms of, like, we're looking at the numbers now, but you look at, when you watch the games, when you go to the games, when you even watch it on TV, watch it on iFollow, which incidentally, the Preston game is on iFollow TV. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. You can buy a match pass for 10 quid and watch the game on Friday. It might be on Sky Sports Red Button as well, I'm not too sure. Sky is showing 4 live games that day. They're showing a 12:30, a 3, a 5 and a 7, so showing 4 championship games that day. So yeah, we've seen George Savills have the most tackles per game for Millwall, which is interesting, but he's not really in contention, you would imagine. So Barbie Kelsey, Jed Wallace, Jake Cooper, Mario Wallis, it's got to be one of them. Yeah, it's either got to be Jake Cooper, Mario Wallis, Jed Wallace, and Barbie Kelsey. Even though Bart's numbers are atrocious, I mean, what we don't have here is clean sheets. I mean, he's obviously kept a clean sheet. Not a clean sheets this season, but so have the defenders. It's like a team unit thing. We basically play the same team every week in, week out. Not much changing going on. The 3 centre backs and Ballard getting in on it as well. But why? So Jed Wallace, I don't know what he is. A lot of people don't. He hasn't got the love of the fans. I don't know what he is. He's got the respect and appreciation, but he doesn't have the love. I don't know why. He scores a lot of goals. He gets a lot of assists. Maybe people think he fancies himself too much. I mean, he is the you could argue he's the best player in the team, the best attacking player in the team. He's kind of the playmaker, and players like that usually have massive egos. He doesn't really have a massive ego, so I don't know why he's not more loved and admired, but he isn't, and he won't be getting enough votes for player of the season, despite his incredible numbers, and especially the key passes per game, putting him fifth in third in the league or whatever, or fourth, fifth. Yeah, quite decent. But yeah, again, like Barbie Kelsey, his numbers are not looking good, but he makes some fabulous saves. He had one really dodgy moment against Bristol City. He gifted them a goal. That kind of blotted his copybook. You think, what's going on here? Is he losing it? I mean, he's 34 years old. And then you see in the press, not immediately, but after that, he's like, I'm doing interviews in the press saying, I'm vegan. I'm eating vegan food to stay fit longer and all that. But I think he knows he's in the twilight of his career now, and he's won the player of the season the last 2 seasons. To give him it for a 3rd season in a row, no, I'm sorry. I can't condone that. He's not the best player since sliced bread. You can't be giving him player of the season 3 years in a row. So that rules him out. So I'm ruling a lot of people out. Season, not really, not really. I don't know why. I don't know why. He's a good player. He's got good numbers. But I don't know what it is. It's kind of like an attitude thing. Not an attitude thing. Like, he's a good player, so you expect him to be good. So you're like, well, that's what you do. Like, well, you want a gold star for that. But when you get players like, oh, he's pretty fucking good now, isn't he? And that's what I feel has happened to Murray Wallis. He can do it at both ends, and he scored a lot of goals. What was it, fourth beating, doing well in this league. As the team has been doing well in this league, finishing in the top 10, and we're what is it, 5 games left, and we're still competing to get in the playoffs at the end of this season. And it's because of the likes of Murray Wallis, because it's the defensive side of the game that's doing it for us. Offensively, not really doing it. They're not they're doing what they're doing, but they're not doing it in terms of killing games off and being decisive. Now, they were in the last game, but like I said, that was luck, because we were playing against a second string goalkeeper. So please don't expect that every week. Don't expect that on Friday. So yeah, I think hopefully what I've said kind of makes sense. Murray Wallis, it's his year. He's grown and he's grown and he's grown season after season after season, and it could, to be honest, it could be. I know a lot of people are voting for Danny Mcnamara for the same reason. Like, he's come in from the youth. He went out on loan. He's been on a number of loans. He comes in because of the situation, thrown in the deep end, and doing pretty well, isn't he? So a lot of people are voting for him for player of the season as well, because he's done well in those circumstances, but end up losing. So yeah, it could have. If I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, it'd be my player of the season, first, second, and third. Some Murray Wallis first, for reasons we've just said. And if I were to go second, I would probably have to go Jed Wallace. And third, I would go Barbie Kelsey, because I like Bart, I like what he's doing, but like I said, 2 seasons in a row he got it. 3 seasons in a row, I can't give it to you 3 seasons in a row. Like, if you give it to him 3 seasons in a row, and then it's like he's like legendary status in the future. You know, oh, he was amazing. Like, well, he was pretty good, but yeah, we've had a lot of decent goalkeepers come through here. Casey Keller, Brian Horn, Tony Warner, you know, David Ford. I mean, so how does he compare with them? I don't know. I don't think he's up. I don't really think he's up to their level. He doesn't really do that much, does he? Like, he didn't come out for that Luton goal, which Jay Cooper headed into his own net. He doesn't come out really for anything. He's just a shot stopper, and his kicking isn't that good. So yeah, I'm gonna go Murray Wallis 1, Jed Wallace, his brother, 2, and Barbie Kelsey 3. And yeah, and that's it. That is it. But if Sean Hudson had more appearances, if he didn't have 2 injury spells this season, he would probably be number 2. To be honest with you, he probably would be my number 2. I would still have Murray Wallace there. But again, if Hudson isn't injured as much as he is, would Murray Wallace get in the team? So that's probably another factor that's helped Murray Wallace out. Sean Hudson being injured, then Murray Wallace can come in and play, which seems to have worked out well for us, hasn't it? So there you have it. That's my Player of the Year discussion, Player of the Season discussion. What do you think? I've seen a lot of people voting for Murray Wallace as standard. As I said, a lot of people voting for Danny Mcnamara. He has the kind of, what would you call it, true blue, like patriotic Millwall vote. If you said like Millwall was his own grown, that kind of vote, rather than just like people voting with their hearts, not with their heads. Yeah, and a lot of people, Bart is the next in line because he's been as good as he was last season. But you can't keep giving it to Bart every year. And a lot of other players have stepped up and done pretty well, especially in defence. And that's what I'm giving to Murray Wallace. So, and again, Danny Ballard and Benicophobia, they would be in contention if they won on loan. I know it's this season long loan, so it's basically they're a member of the squad for this season. They didn't come in halfway through, but yeah, I can't really sanction giving it to them. And yeah, the only one who probably would be in with contention would be Benic, because he's got double figures. Ballard, his figures are alright, plays very well for a 22-year-old, insanely well. But yeah, probably wouldn't be in my top 4. Would probably have Benicophobia after Barbie Kelsey, actually, straight up. Maybe ahead of Jake Cooper. I don't know what's wrong with Jake Cooper, but I like him. But player of the season, I don't know why not. He scored a lot of goals at both ends. He's got man of the matches. He's done very well in games. Wins a lot of aerials, but don't know what it is. Again, I'm voting Murray Wallace number 1, Jed Wallace number 2, and Barbie Kelsey number 3. Benicophobia 4. Probably Jake Cooper 5, actually. So yeah, that's my top 5. Have you voted yet? I'm probably I haven't voted yet. I'm just probably waiting to make this video. I'll go and vote probably tomorrow. So yeah, what do you think? Have you voted yet? Who will you vote for? Let me know in the comments and let me know why. And that is it for this video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.